Well, you've heard us mention his name quite a bit recently with the connection with the Ron Mile videos that we have been playing here on TV 44 and that you can see on our website. John Ondo, what a blessing he has been for TV 44 for quite a while now. We won't go into age and go back to how many years
Thank you.
have been a part of our station. But not only, first of all, thank you so much for your work on those videos memorializing.
It was an honor. Sad to do it. You had a celebration. I mean, he had to be celebrated, and so it was an honor to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a lot of other neat things taking place. You know, John does not live in this area anymore, but certainly is continuing to make an incredible impact throughout this region. Not long ago, receiving an Emmy for his work, well, for his mastermind behind the Gomer documentary. Tell us about this.
Well, it was exciting. My little production company in Columbus, one of the things we try to do is with these what we call school biography projects. We did one for Elida, and then the second one we produced was for Gomer, just documenting the history of a school, of a community, and we produced that a year ago. And then it was nominated for an Emmy, and we won. And it was very exciting to bring home, as we say, the hardware. TV 40, we've been nominated for multiple Emmys here at TV 44 for other shows that we've done here. And Ginger Stocky was the one who brought home the first Emmy for TV 44 way back when, about 10 years ago, for a great documentary. So I was honored to get nominated and honored to bring back the award for a local story about Gomer. So when you go through Gomer, you're going through a town that has a story that's been nominated for an Emmy. So that's pretty cool.
And we have aired that here on TV 44 a few times. If you haven't had a chance to see that, of course, you can purchase the DVD from the Ondo Media website.
Yeah, Gomer, we have lidamemories.com is the website. We have some of those available. And, you know, the thing about it is I just love telling these stories. Being from this area, there's just something about this area and the stories of these towns. You go through so many of these little towns, and I always ask, why is this town here? What made this a big town 100 years ago and it's not so big now? And Gomer's one of those examples where the highway used to go through it. They used to have a school, but it was consolidated. And those stories shouldn't be forgotten. They should be told, they should be remembered, they should be celebrated. So that's some of the things we try to do with TV 44, and we appreciate so much that you airing the shows. And actually, we may have another one coming up for you pretty soon, I hope.
Tell us about your next project. You're moving on to another area school. We cover them in sports. They're going to be part of our Whiz Quiz, and now they're going to be your next documentary. Who is this next school?
One of the top schools in the state, actually, and again, it's a smaller school. Botkins local schools, and they're going through a scenario similar to what Elida did about 3 or 4 years ago. They have an older building that's been there for about 40, 50 years that's going to be torn down, and they're replacing it with a brand new building. So we are going through and have been in the process all this year of documenting the history of Botkins. And you might say, well, I don't know anything about Botkins. Well, that's why you should watch this. They've got a basketball team and a huge agricultural center down there in Shelby County. And so we're producing what's going to be called the Trojan Journey. And we're going to be doing a documentary on their school. And they'll be moving into their new building here in December. And then sometime next year, probably by May, we will have a completed 1-hour documentary on their school. And I'm sure they would be thrilled to have TV 44 air that, because there's some really neat families and that's down there, and we'll be sharing that. So,
are you finding any neat stories or any surprising things like you did? I know with the Gomer documentary, there were some funny stories in there.
There's funny stories everywhere, especially when you hear people say, I met my wife at this locker, or there was another story about, I was knocked over by what would be the superintendent of the school in 6th grade, because all the families are kind of connected a little bit. And then there was one of the teachers I interviewed actually flew with Neil Armstrong's father from the airport that Neil Armstrong flew out of. So it's just, it's just such a great, you just could sit down and just listen to all these stories, and that's just what's so fun about this. So the Botkins journey, so our hope is we could always do more of these. The sad part is we're at this part where our history, where so many of these older schools were built around the 1900s, and they're getting torn down for good reason, because they don't serve the purpose for education anymore. But they need to be documented, and those histories need to be told. So I really encourage any school system, even if the school's gone, contact us. We would love to see if there's something we can do to help you document that, because we use it as fundraisers that then go back to help fund the school with alumni or band or scholarships or whatever they want to do with it.
And of course, when the school building's still up, you can go through.
Oh, yeah.
But even if it's not there, you can do things with pictures, you can do
Absolutely.
things with stories. There are ways to bring that back to life.
Absolutely. Ken Burns did nothing but photos of the Civil War and really kind of brought it back to life. And our goal is always to walk the halls of your school or church or community center, whatever, one more time. Again, it's just there's so much to our country and so much to West Central Ohio here. We shouldn't lose these memories. These buildings, yes, they may have to come down, but we shouldn't lose the memories. So that's one of the things we try real hard to preserve, and we just got blessed with an Emmy with one of them. So that was kind of a nice little benefit from the whole thing.
Well, the work you did was deserving of it.
Well,
fabulous, fabulous story. Looking forward to seeing the Botkins one, and then if there's some more to come. Only good stuff. You really do an incredible job.
I would love to. Oh, I just heard recently Memorial Hall is going to be closing down here in Lima. And I remember back in the old days, we did a story on that back in the old Turning Point days about Memorial Hall, and that's a great building.
Oh, beautiful.
So
beautiful.
Again, you know, it's just important we document these things.
All right. Well, don't forget there is an opportunity to document. Keep it forever. John does an amazing job with historical things. We'll see if maybe we can get that Gomer documentary back on, maybe the Elida one. We'll definitely be looking forward to the Botkins one. Thank you so much, John, not only for stopping by and talking to us, for everything you do to keep history going.
Try to. Thanks so much.
All right, back to you.